Have you signed up to the Clan War Leagues only to realize that your opponent is way stronger than you? In this video, I will explain why that happens. I will also give you some of my advice that will increase your chance of winning that war, but also the farming strategy that I like to use across all of my accounts in order to help speed up your progress as fast as possible. Alrighty guys, let's dive straight into this. So I will be explaining why Clan War League mismatches happen. It is the start of the season and I'm sure you're hungry to get as many victories as possible, but unfortunately the mismatches might indeed happen from time to time. Now I will explain why that happens, but also just to let you know, once we have explained this and given you a couple of tips, I will be showing you the baby dragon farming attack strategy. I'll be giving you as much advice on that as possible. It's a brilliant strategy to help you get a lot of loot. Guys, I didn't make all of the loot above through that. It was in fact the season pass, but to celebrate, I will be spending some of that as well. However, let's get into the main focus of the video, which is Clan War League mismatches. Now, I know that this is something a lot of people talk about, and let me know your experiences down below. Have you had mismatches? I know on some of my lower accounts I certainly have, and it can be frustrating, but it's actually a certain part of the game, which means it will indeed happen. Now, if any of you happened to see the video that Clash of Clans put out on the Supercell YouTube channel, it was by Game Lead Eno, and he talked about how they made Clash of Clans bigger and better with the use of the season pass, but they had to be ready for that, and there was a number of different things that they had to correct in the game, one of them being clan wars. This is where Clan War Leagues came from. So the Clan Wars is incredibly popular, but it did have problems, and this is where the game designed the Clan War Leagues. Now, the problems with Clan Wars, again, I will link the video for you actually down in the description, but I'd highly recommend you go and watch the video that the game lead from Clash of Clans talks about, because it's really interesting. If you're a fan of Clash of Clans, you will find it interesting. And actually, let me know your mismatches down below and your experiences of that, but let me also know what you thought of that video. I was actually so intrigued to see the amount of thought that goes into changing things within Clash. However, back to the Clan Wars. So the main problems that Clash of Clans and the developers identified was a gameable system. So people realized over time the war algorithm has improved massively, but they realized that you could upgrade your base in certain ways and it would allow you to get matches that would be a lot more in your favor. There was no upside to upgrading your base, and this is one of the big problems that Clash of Clans faced. Eno talks about this in the video, in fact, that when people approached Town Hall 9, they didn't want to upgrade, and that was for a few different reasons. One of them being there was no upside with the Clan War matchmaking. It was purely based on weight strength, but actually, if you upgraded, you were almost at a lesser advantage because you would go up against stronger people. So there was no upside to upgrading your game, and there's no end game. People were just tirelessly warring each other. There was nothing for people to do. So what did they do about it? Introducing the Clan War Leagues. Now, I am personally a massive fan, I'm sure that you are, but this is why Clan War League mismatches happen. Because of the way it's designed, it's a new system with new rules. Winners get promoted, losers get demoted. That is it. If you win, you're promoted. If you lose, you'll get demoted. There is no matchmaking algorithm, no tendency to look at the strength of your base. There is only the very first season you signed up. Now, Clan War Leagues has been around for quite some time now, so there has been a lot of shifting within the leagues, and ultimately, it's where it needs to be. When you first sign up as a clan for the first season, you are seeded based on your strength. You can't go into Champions League, you only get in there from getting promoted, but you're seeded based on your base strength. After that, there is nothing. So it is skill, because if you win, you get promoted, plus strength, the strength of your base. If you're Town Hall 13s, you're going to have a better chance. That will give you the victory. And that is why we have Clan War League mismatches, because it rewards both winning but also base strength. And that then brings a lot of different things in terms of end goals. That's where the Clan War Leagues lead into the World Championships if you get that high. Now that's where there can be a little bit of frustration that you can be mismatched, because if you happen to win, if you are a good player and a good clan, let's say you are Town Hall 9 and 10s and you keep winning, you will then go up against people that are higher than you, because there's no matchmaking whatsoever. So what that means is you will hit a cap. You won't get any higher unless you upgrade. So that's why I'm actually going to be showing you my favorite farming strategy so that you can upgrade your base as fast as possible, because unfortunately your clan in general will hit a cap unless you upgrade, and unfortunately that's the way that it's designed. But hopefully this video and the other one, the main one that I'd highly recommend you watch, explain why that happens and why it's designed like that, because you have regular clan wars and the problems with that have been fixed with the Clan War Leagues. But that's why you'll get some mismatches. That being said, if you do happen to get a mismatch, what is the best thing you can do? Well, if you keep on winning and you get high enough, unfortunately, you'll hit that point where you just can't win. There might be people that are just that much stronger, you can't win. At that point, it is just about upgrading, and upgrading as fast as you can in order to help with that. That's the way it is, guys, I know. But if you get mismatched, you might still win. Think about this. If you are a lower base and your clan is coming up against a lot of higher bases, that probably suggests that you are a better player than them. But remember, skill plus strength equals win. So you are probably a more skillful player. You are better than the enemy team because they are a higher level base and yet they're still down in your league. So you are probably a better player. Use that to your advantage. I cannot tell you the amount of times that I have seen clans not use all of their attacks, or they miss a base. They maybe attack different bases. That's what sometimes these clans will do because they're not as good of a player as you. So what you can do is focus on getting the stars on the board. Whether that's 2 stars instead of 3 stars, that might be what you have to do. In some cases, you might have to just go for the 1 star, but it's getting stars on the board, making sure you start from the bottom up, because you've got a lot better of a chance of clearing them bases. The last thing you want is a disconnect on a base that you could have 3-starred. So decide who can 3-star the base, get it 3-starred, get it out the way, and then move up from there, because it's only 1 attack, and you don't want to disconnect on a base that you could have got the 3 stars with. However, secure the 2, maybe even go for the 1, get all of your attacks in. Plan your attacks to the nth degree. If you plan, you will give yourself the best chance, and that is where your skill will help you out, and you've just got to hope that you do beat your opponent based on that. But that hopefully provides you a little bit of rationale as to why the mismatch happens, and a few tips in order to help out in terms of 2-star strategies. Make sure you have a plan for that town hall. Check out some YouTube videos, and really, you should be able to plan for that percentage 2-star. Go for it. practice, FC bases, do whatever you can to improve as a player. Now the other thing you can do is farm, upgrade your base as fast as possible. So let's check it out. In this one, I purchased the gold pass using code JUDO, by the way. If you're not supporting me in your settings, more settings, code JUDO, it is very much appreciated. And guys, be sure to subscribe as well to the channel if you want to see daily educational but entertaining videos. Whenever I see a need for a video, I try to bring it. So I know this one doesn't have a lot of attacking. I am going to show you my farming strategy, but I felt this video was needed because it's always a question that's asked. And finally, we had a very succinct, brilliant video explaining the ins and outs as to why that happens. So I thought I'd summarize it for you. There's my subscribe popping up again, but hey, if you want to subscribe a second time, go ahead and do so. I'll switch it off now, guys. But anyways, I thought I wanted to just bring you guys a summary. Now, in terms of the baby dragons, let's show you what I like to do. What I was going to say is I have managed to get the 10% boost, which means that any upgrade I do with my 30 million loot that I managed to get from the previous season pass, I get 10% off, which is pretty cool. So what I think is I am going to... The mortars are the two most expensive. So I'm going to upgrade them first to level 10. That's 8 million and 8 million again, but that then leaves me with 10 million in terms of being left over. I am going to use a builder potion after this, and you might notice that there is 9 hours on my Barbarian King and 12 on the Bomb Tower. So actually, I'm going to not use all of my loot. It's kind of strange to show you a farming strategy. Unfortunately, I will miss out on some loot, but for the purpose of the video, I'll do an attack for you guys. So let's upgrade another mortar. That gets us down to near enough 10 million. I'm going to save the rest so that we can upgrade something else. But I think I want to upgrade my Archer Queen here as well. In terms of the elixir, we've got 12 hours on the laboratory, and why don't we go ahead and use a boost so that we can actually get that finished, and I can use my elixir in, what is that, around about 40 minutes time. Pretty awesome the way that they work now. The other thing you can do, apart from farming strategies, is clan games, season pass. Get involved as active as you can to upgrade your base. Now, the strategy I like to use, being the baby dragons, is very good because you can take out bases very quickly. You can get the loot from the bases very quickly. Now, granted, I could attack this base. It's actually got quite a bit of loot, which is relatively easy. So why don't we do that? Let's get one baby dragon here, one here. Trust there's a couple of Teslas. I think most of it is in the storages, in fact, so we can just clear out the gold storages and then move from there. Grand Wardens on air, great. So basically, farming, get into the attacks quickly, get the job done, and get out of there. You don't have to win the battle. Protect your hero health. I just managed to get 200,000 gold. Easy. Absolutely easy. It's not the baby dragon strategy that I wanted to show you. I didn't get 100,000 gold. I'm sure many of you are screaming at your screen because I have 10 million. But that was a nice example of just attacking the base. But anyways, with the baby dragons, what I wanted to explain is that even if there are defenses covering the gold mines and elixir pumps on the outside of the base, which predominantly you do want to go for the gold mines and elixir pumps because you get more loot from them than within the storages, then it's just a little bit easier. Even if there's defenses covering them, the baby dragons can take them out. The other bonus is you're not cooking up multiple troops. You could farm with a Jaibarch, a Queen Charge Miners. You're constantly cooking up multiple troops. You're literally just stacking with baby dragons all of the time, and it works incredibly well. It's very easy to use. It's very quick. You want an attack strategy where you can use very minimal troops, get in and get out. Now, that's if you are an active player. If you're someone that's going to be able to jump on quite a lot throughout the day, baby dragons are for you. If not, you might choose to use something like the Queen Charge Miners, for example, because that will also help with your war attacks. Whenever you combine that skill component and you can make sure to practice alongside farming, then I would highly recommend that you do so. Now, because I can't get all of the golden elixir for this anyway, let's use this base as an example. The multi-target Infernos, they are completely wiped out. There's nothing in them. So that's always something to take note of. Look at this little air defense. Is that a level 1? I think that's a level 1 air defense. Anyways, if we look at the elixir collector, there's not a lot in there. The elixir storage, the gold storage, very, very minimal in both of them. But if we move across to the gold mine and the elixir pump here, they are stacked. Take a look. The elixir pump is, you know, full. You can't see a gap. Same with the gold mine. To the right hand side of it, the little pocket there, it is full of gold. So let's attack it. Let's go. So we get a baby dragon into that area. The defenses are very low on this one, guys. You don't have to think about it too much. Just spread the baby dragons around the base onto the different buildings and watch how quickly you can take it down. Look at the golden elixir in the top left corner. Flying down. That's because my baby dragons are just wiping out these different buildings. And actually, there's a little bit more in the storages than what I thought. But because the base is heavily under-leveled, we should actually be able to get this. So let's take out the air defense, be a little bit more strategic with the baby dragons in order to get them. And then that should be relatively okay. I'm going to log off for a bit so actually I can get my queen in order to help out. Let's get my Grand Warden on ground. That's another thing I want to make clear for you with farming. Make sure that you actually use your troops and your heroes as much as possible because they are infinite. You're not costing anything to make them. And a lot of the time you will try and protect their health, but if you are going to log off, then it doesn't matter. Just let them go down. You get to use them, you get free loot from that, and hopefully that helps you guys out in terms of what you want to do to farm. There's a ton of different farming attack methods. Keep an eye on my channel, I'll continue to bring you them, but I wanted to give you a farming attack strategy since a lot of this video is talking about upgrading your base. I wanted to give you a farming attack strategy that was so easy to use but so effective that you really should be using it because there's very little thought involved. So that's what the mass baby dragons will do for you. And look, it's incredibly easy. Go for the bases that you know you're going to be able to take down. Spread them onto the gold mines and elixir pumps. You might need to target them if there's one archer tower covering an area. Target the archer tower first in order to take that down. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments about your mismatches and also you know, what you feel from the video that Supercell put out, and that's linked down below. In fact, what I'll do for you guys, I'll link it right here. It's linked on your screen. I'd highly recommend checking that one out, but I really wanted to cover that in today's video. I hope you have enjoyed it, but that wraps it up for this one. Until next time, guys, peace out.